And
So, I actually sent you over a story earlier. I thought I was pretty excited about it. Yeah,
hell yeah.
Rumble sues Google again. Now, people may not remember, but this is the second lawsuit against Google that Rumble is currently embroiled in. The first one is actually still ongoing. It's in discovery phase, and although it was filed in the Northern District of California, they did make it past Google's attempt to just have it dismissed outright, and it's currently in discovery. And
Yep.
I think that for Rumble specifically, they have a really good case here. And considering where it was filed, and the fact that this is Google's backyard, it's their home base, and it was able to get past where usually Google is able to squelch all of these lawsuits, I'd say that bodes really, really well for the people at Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting they chose that venue. I guess must be because that's where Google is headquartered. But the first
Yeah.
lawsuit was having to do with, as I highlight here, Rumble first sued Google in 2021 for illegally favoring YouTube videos in Google search results within its Android mobile operating system. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously they do that, but this current lawsuit is suing them for $1 billion for lost ad revenue
Hmm.
as a client. And everybody knows, like right now, Rumble, they've kind of done their own ad sales, and a majority of their revenue comes from selling ads on like shows like us here on Badlands. It's kind of some behind the scenes stuff, but we have our own ad department here at Badlands Media where we try to work with the small businesses and the people in our community. But we also sometimes get ads from Rumble. Um, those have been dwindling because the economy right now, I think everybody's kind of feeling that pinch. But that's an insane amount of money, $1 billion in lost ad revenue. I don't know how they quantify that. I haven't
I
actually
can
read
tell
the
you.
lawsuit yet, but I'm going to.
I can tell you, this is the thing is that Rumble used to be like an ad partner with Google until 2022 when they essentially tried to branch off to create their own platform because they had their own video platform and they needed to be able to serve up their own ads so that they could actually sell them, make the money, place the pre-rolls on them and stuff. And essentially, when that happened, they became persona non grata, and Google immediately stopped working with them in any sense of the word. So I would imagine that $1 billion in lost revenue has to do with them essentially getting shut out of the process and no longer allowed to even do business like they were before. So I mean, I got to say, it's pretty awesome that they're still in business, especially after taking on a behemoth like Google. I mean, generally speaking, Google flinches at someone in a business sense and they can put them out.
Yeah, and what this is so big for me is like we've been living this demonetization aspect of
Mm,
things for years. I mean, you've been doing it longer than anybody. You were one of the
yeah.
first big accounts off of YouTube back in 2020.
Yeah.
But just with Badlands, so my experience, and I guess even before I started Badlands, it got kicked off Buy Me a Coffee, kicked off PayPal, kicked off like couldn't be on YouTube, couldn't be on Twitter, all those things. We were stuck to Telegram, True Social when it came out, and Rumble. But with Badlands specifically, it's been an uphill climb constantly trying to just get our foot in the door to like get these scraps from these other companies while trying to stay true to your mission and not like still say the things you're going to say, not alter your message in any way, but just try to like sneak some money away from these other companies to support the platform.
Hmm.
They turn you down and shut you down at every turn. And so to see like Rumble, somebody we've gotten very close to, we've worked with well. Like I know Chris, I text with Chris, he's awesome. Their sales team is great, as great as they can be. Um, this is big for them, and I think it will ultimately bleed into the rest of like us too.
I agree.
Actually,
Yeah.
and so I'm obviously looking forward to finding out how this ends up. 3 years from now, once it gets to the court system.
So, I'm hoping that also I'm sure you've heard this that there's this rumor that Truth Social is going to start doing some sort of live streaming on their platform.
Yeah, it's in
Uh,
beta right now.
okay, yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying that. I have to imagine it has to be in partnership with Rumble.
Oh,
Uh,
100%.
yeah. So that will also translate into multiple platforms to be for us to be able to collect ad revenue, and it's necessary. I mean, this is the reason they went after our ability to survive first is because if you can't feed yourself doing what you're doing, then you are forced to go ahead and try something else. I mean, there's just no way around it. And
Yeah.
I think that all people deserve to be able to make a living and to be physically and directly excluded from the process. It's like you are unpersoned. I actually had a friend, Radix Verum. She was just debanked from Bank of America. Now, it's not the only place that she banks, but it was because a viewer had sent her a donation. She's been making a documentary about the Whitmer kidnapping FBI plot. And essentially, this donation was for that. And she took it to Bank of America, and their like risk assessment department essentially shut her account down. They won't give her money. They won't allow her to have any access to it. They won't tell her any specific reasons behind it. But it was after this check was deposited.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, we don't often really do appeals for support, and I'm not doing that now, but I just want to say thank you to those that do, subscribe here on Rumble and all the other places, the Rumble rants and everything. I would say a majority of our creators' income is based off of you guys and your direct support, the Rumble rants, the subscribing on Rumble locals, which by the way, we're going to start doing a little more on locals soon.
Okay.
But all the other way, Substack, like it's you guys that basically have kept us afloat and carried us through. You guys have been good to us, so we appreciate that and appreciate the support always. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how this plays out, man. If it's a different judge, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets thrown out. But
well, it's in the same district, so I'm not certain if it's going to be another one or if it's going to be the same one. But I'd say that there's a precedent for it already because they have one active and ongoing case, and it shows that there is some level of coordination on behalf of Google to stop people from being able to come in and to compete against them.
Yeah.